Now this is the chieftain everybody knows in World of Tanks and everybody loves to hate mainly in this game. But that guy is off the screen because it is not going to be our main topic in today's video. Instead, we are going to talk about Chieftain Mk.6, which is in the center of your screens, well, almost in the center of your screens right now, because it has been spotted for the first time ever live on EU server. Yes, this is live server, EU, and someone is testing out Chieftain. Someone at Wargaming, I guess, or Supertest players are testing out Chieftain Mk.6 for the first time ever over here. Even though this tank actually has been in the game files for, I don't even know, 5-6 years, maybe something like that, something around that. And this is the tank that actually has been a playable tank on the Chinese server, if I remember correctly, for many years. And the only way you were able to buy this tank was if you have spent enough money purchasing some other things, you know, because Chinese server is pretty crazy. But today, guys, we're able to stock this tank. We're able to look at it in the third-person view. Courtesy to DocRaider2, who sent this replay to me via Discord, and we are able to take a look at it. And DocRaider was playing with the T95 Chieftain on the left, and by the way, all the sound effects, all the hits received and damage done is coming from the Chieftain, what we have in the game, you know, who was playing this game. We are just able to look at this guy in the third-person view. But it is pretty interesting and kind of a bomb news, right, if you think about that. Out of nowhere, we started seeing Chieftain Mk.6 in the battles 5-6 days ago when I was just, you know, having fun during one of our live streams. I had people coming in saying Chieftain Mk.6 was spotted in live server. Okay, I received one message like that in the chat. At first I thought maybe like random press account, someone, you know, very exclusive had this available for a single battle, but then more and more people are coming in saying I spotted Chieftain. Chieftain is in the match with me. The Chieftain Mk.6 is in the match with me. Has anyone else seen Chieftain? You know, I received messages, like tens and tens of messages like that, and then I started thinking, wait a second, that is a little bit too much for random press accounts. And there was said that there was actually platooned up Chieftain Mk.6s as well spotted, so this was very interesting, and I decided to dive in a little bit deeper, so looking for replays from players who actually played close to it, you know, because if Chieftain is playing on the other flank, you're not able to see this. And it turned out actually I was in the same match with one Chieftain as well, but I didn't even notice it before the end of the battle, and it was playing on the completely other side of the map, so no footage from me, sadly. But luckily we have such an amazing community and we're still able to take a look at it. And you can see that this tank actually has some serious TPM action with its 400 alpha damage. Now, when it comes to talking about this tank and what Wargaming's ideas might be with this, like right now, I believe it is just very early testing. Maybe they are just touching the waters to see, you know, they gave it a go for a couple Supertest players saying like, okay, let's jump into the battle, let's see what kind of performance can this tank do now, because I would say if this tank was released like 5, 6, 7 years ago, it would have been pretty busted indeed. Even though, guys, compared to the Chieftain we currently have in the game, as you can see, it actually has a bloody turret on the top of the tank and actual weak spot what people have been able to penetrate when this tank is completely hulled down. So this is very welcoming, and I hope Wargaming is not going to get rid of that. Otherwise we have two identical Chieftains over here with absolutely no weak spots hulled down, right? And, you know, overall, I think it is just first test, like very early test, as I said, just touching the waters to see how it would look like in this current state without changing anything. And boom, up in flames it goes, because 260 was able to take it out. And the Chieftain Mk.6 in this situation was able to deal around 3000 damage, actually over 3000 damage. you know what hurt this guy was that enemy 279 simply decided to YOLO down and push all the way in the face to the guy. But jumping from one chieftain into another, this is the heroes who sent us the replay facing object 260. Both have 440 alpha damage over here. Epic DPM fight, you know, whoever rolls better, whoever has better penetration. Now, Chieftain over here is in a little bit of a disadvantage because APCR round, yep, there you go, is actually not a super good round versus angled armor. What 260 has, and 260 having heat, high penetration heat, is actually able to get a little upper hand over here, especially with the dead 279E. When 279E is dead, it is even a nuisance after it has been destroyed. But here goes the other chieftain as well, and now let's actually take a look at the specs and comparison. So what do we have over here is Chieftain compared to the D95 Chieftain and also E5, because E5 is kind of a benchmark what the high DPM tanks or the heavy tanks in World of Tanks currently should be. Well, I could add Esconk as well, but we already have Chieftain, the in-game Chieftain over here, so let's compare it to that, right? And what we're looking at is Chieftain in its current form. You know, whatever Wargaming is thinking about doing with this, I am pretty sure there is going to be some tuning if they decide to go ahead with this tank after first testings. Maybe it turns out that this tank is too powerful for the game right now and they simply erase the idea of releasing it somehow, or maybe they're going to buff it, maybe they're going to nerf it and whatnot, you know, just to put it out there. Nothing is official, nothing is confirmed, everything is subject to change as always. So it has 3000 DPM right out of the gate. Pretty crazy, right? E5 has very good DPM as well, but this one has 200 on the top of that, which is half a shot, guys. So 270 millimeters of penetration with APCR, or 258 with AP on E5. 400 alpha damage, as you were able to see as well. So 400 alpha, you lose some DPM on this chieftain to get 10% extra alpha damage. And where this tank is just crazy, guys, is gun handling. Like, actually, what the hell is this gun handling? It has crazy nutty aim time right now. It has crazy nutty dispersion for a heavy tank right now, and all the stabilization numbers as well. So the best setup for this tank is instantly experimental turbo, experimental hardening, and rammer, and you are good to go. You do not need to use stabilizer, you do not need to use any of that. And it is the fastest out of the bunch over here, 42 top speed, 15 moving backwards, as you can see. Then terrain resistance, well, this is not the best, right? Yes, but armor, well, this is where it actually is lacking quite a bit. We can say that this tank has armor from when it was actually released, or when it was put into the game files 5, 6, 7 years ago. It has the armor layout and armor values from that era, ladies and gentlemen, and you are going to see that from the 3D armor profile as well. I'm going to show you. Also, what we have over here, view range 390 meters, which is just enough to play with turbo, hardening, and rammer, and still have max view range. And if we go to the 3D armor profile, you can see exactly what I mean by that. So this is the tank versus 270 millimeters of penetration, APCR as well, and on a flat ground, well, everything is able to penetrate it very easily. It has extremely weak lower plate, so and extremely weak and kind of big lower plate as well, so all the tier 8s which this tank would face is easily able to penetrate the lower plate. On a flat ground there is some upper plate penetration as well, but you know, if it is angled even a little bit, the upper plate having such a crazy slope is actually going to be very bouncy, and same goes to the hull down situation. If this tank is, let's say, hull down like that, you are definitely going to bounce off from the upper plate, right? And also it has a weak spot under the gun currently, a little weak spot, but this will be very hard to hit. But it has a commander hatch which is also very easily penetrable. Even if this tank is completely hull down, you are able to hit that commander hatch. What you saw from the battle we had as well, the stalking battle on the outpost map. So Commander Hatch is still, you know, a weak spot over here, which is very welcoming to see what the Chieftain T95 FE4201 does not have, for example. Also, not very good side scraper, very easily penetrable even if you try to side scrape it a little bit. So it definitely has clear weaknesses right over here. But if you look at that, you know, this tank seems to be all about like DPM, damage output, damage, bang, bang, bang. And let's say we are going to equip it up with as good of a DPM as possible. And let's say we are using the equipment setups I said before. What are we looking like? Because if this tank comes into the game, you can definitely count on people using top-notch equipment on it. And of course, we have the food as well, pudding and tea right over here. And if we put cruise skills on it, smooth ride, off-road driving, clutch braking, intuition, you know, all those things, view range things as well, then you can see that with the fuel field modes over here, your view range is going to be over 445 meters still. And let's say you would like to pump out some more DPM using that. Well, you can see 3858 DPM, which is pretty nutty, together with this gun handling. I'm not using any gun handling things over here, equipment units, for example. Yes, cruise skills are boosting it. Yes, food is boosting it, but you can see this is crazy, you know, this is absolutely crazy. So it needs to have some weaknesses somewhere, and in this case currently it seems to be the armor, ladies and gentlemen. So Chieftain Mk.6 in very early Supertest. Once again, absolutely no idea what is their plan with this. There have been many not rumors, but just guesses, you know, where this tank could end up being if Wargaming goes forward with the tests. Of course, assembly shop is one thing which I would hate seeing. Clan Wars Reward is one thing which I would hate seeing. Personal missions 3. Third personal missions campaign tank. This would make sense, ladies and gentlemen. 4 personal missions 3. We have 279E over there. We have Object 260 over there. Would this thing be completely broken as a personal missions campaign tank? DPM, it's like, you know, when I look at this armoring and everything, it honestly feels like a big medium tank with high DPM, right? DPM and gun handling is definitely the bread and butter, but this over here definitely could be made worse if they continue testing and they find out that it is, you know, too powerful. What else? Mobility, like fine. Armor, it has weak spots actually, so fine. What else over here? Yeah, side scraping very bad, you know, we found out. So guys, what do you think about that? This is Chieftain Mk.6, and if we compare that to the Chieftain's hull down armor, for example, you can see that, yeah, whoa, yeah. Like both, ladies and gentlemen, both tanks. Okay, let's just put it like that on a flat ground. Both tanks are facing 270 millimeters of penetration. And you can see the difference, right? You can see the difference. And hull down, well, good luck. Pretty crazy. This is Chieftain Mk.6. What do you think about that, ladies and gentlemen? Where do you want to see that? Do you ever want to see that? It is one of the most iconic tanks, you know, in the world, right? And they're testing it right now. What is their plan? We'll have to wait and see. But I keep you posted every time there is new information coming out. I will let you know, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this type of content, looking into the future, like sneaking upon tanks, what Wargaming is testing and so on. And let me know in the comment section your thoughts about this. I catch you next time with something else. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, take care and bye.